Siemens is a multinational corporation doing incredibly well. Globally have created 5,000 new jobs globally. 5,000 new jobs globally, and they have the audacity to come to one of the most senior plants in their system and say we're closing. We've asked the Premier of the province of Ontario to use the power of government, and he's simply got to say to Siemens, you're not closing that plant and then getting an opportunity to bid on all the green energy projects. It ain't going to work that way. What you're going to do is you're going to fulfill a commitment to that plant, then you're allowed to bid on procurement in the province of Ontario. If not, then do business elsewhere. That's the only pressure that we've got on, and we've asked him to do that. Xstrata, multinational corporation, a foreign investor that got approval to buy this facility, buy our natural resources, and they were supposed to commit to the better good of Canada, have decided to close this facility. We met with Xstrata following that and got very little or no response. We met with the Premier yesterday afternoon. All of us, 13 of us in the room, mayors, business community, a good coalition, the MPs, the MPPs, all singing off the same song sheet. We reminded the Premier of the commitment that these employers must make, and there's no reasonable argument that the Premier McGuinty can't be a captain here and say to Xstrata, you violated the commitment to maintaining our natural resources, but benefiting the communities that those natural resources come out of.
I would suggest that if this union wasn't here, Flaherty wouldn't even be discussing pensions. Because when you hear him talk about solutions to the pension problem, he's suggesting RSP opportunities, investment opportunities. He's suggesting what's going to help wealthy people, not working people.
So we need to keep the pressure on. The timing is absolutely critical for this last month. I really believe that if we keep on the pressure that all of you have done, that we could be successful in this campaign, and we can double CPP, we can make improvements for the retirement security of all workers, not just all of us that are unionized, but all workers across the country, and that's what it's about at the end of the day.
We must take the position that all Canadians are entitled to a pension that gives them respect, gives them dignity. And the best way to do that, to assure they're protected long-term, is through our Canada Pension Old Age Security and Guaranteed Income programs. Brothers and sisters, we got to get this out to our members. We've got to make our message more clear. We got to bring more people along with us. More importantly, we got to ask ourselves in this room, how do we engage young people? Students, people going into the new workforce, how do we convince them that if we increase Canada pension premiums over the next 7 years, it's going to benefit you and those existing in the workforce? Because the best program that we could possibly have for all Canadians is a universal pension plan that provides the income necessary when you retire in dignity. And part of my resolution is to try to get Flaherty to increase the kind of community forums that are necessary, the briefings that are necessary. I believe he's going to 4 or 5 selected communities on these hearings on pension reform. He's got to open it up to every community. Anybody who wants to participate in these discussions, there's got to be a mechanism for their voices to be heard. And we have to continue to fight in that particular area.
And the finance ministers of this land are getting together at the end of May and early June. And they're going to be talking about what to concretely do on pensions. So if all of you take a moment, will you take a moment to write an email, to pick up the phone on this issue of pensions and to tell your elected representative to support Labor's plan? Will you do that?
Yes, we will.
Because I'm telling you, if you do that, we may be having this conversation in 10 years and saying we had a Tommy Douglas moment in 2010 on pensions, and you can tell your kids that you were part of it.